Systems are go. About 90 seconds to launch destination.
Mind you, we swore an oath of loyalty, but we are still senators. It's not more speeches in the Senate that will change the world. Rome is dying.
My legions are mustering as swiftly as possible. General Gaius, Julius Caesar, enough!
Senators, welcome back to episode 25 in my Stellaris Roman Empire campaign. In the last episode, we continued preparations for an incoming invasion from the Hazar Horde, but we were left relieved when their fleet retreated from our space to deal with some internal affair. With this temporary reprieve, we've used our time to bolster our fleet's strength, build our first Citadel at Opsius, and restore the arcologies on Scythia, creating our first Ecumenopolis world, now aptly named Titanium, after Emperor Titus X. We've also seen the formation of a Galactic Council, a triumvirate, if you will, with the Roman Empire, the Kosher Trade League, and the newly discovered Sandrel exiles delegating over matters of galactic importance. And our hegemony, the greater Roman Empire, is going from strength to strength. Now with the Tyrrhene Republic and the Colden Consortium together, we finally started to gain a cohesive balance to our structure, and are well on our way to greater progress within it. However, our focus first and foremost is still defense. After the brash and somewhat reckless Admiral Opsius engaged an enemy fortress, it became clear that we're still not yet prepared to take the fight to them. And that's really where we've left off. Now, I've done a huge amount of things in between episodes, lots of changes to names, lots of things queued up with different planets and things like that, and lots of comments to get to. Now, I didn't have time to actually display any on screen this time. The reason being, of course, you may remember that the Hazar Horde, something seemed to be a little off with them. They're going back and forth between systems, some infighting, some indecisiveness perhaps. And I looked into it, and I think I fixed it. I won't bore you with what I did, but I think I have fixed it. So we can pretty much expect them to be a lot more aggressive. I still don't know where they're going to go. They might come straight back for us. They might go to somebody else. But they will be reprioritizing what they're going to be doing, I think, pretty soon. So, some of the comments that I wanted to get to, specifically one, was from Senator Marius. Now, he wrote a very lengthy delegation to the Senate, with all different matters included. And one of them, we'll just kind of go through them. I wrote some bullet points down into a little notepad here. One of them was about the Coggin system, which is now renamed to Alpes Graia. So this is one of our big choke points. The wormhole that they had come through before was at Walmoro. Our Corvette fleet led by Opsius is down here. He's on his way back. And this is the station we destroyed, so we kind of chunked that territory away from them. So the Coggin system is kind of the gateway then, if they were to come through this wormhole, to go further back into the Roman Empire. And then there's also the one at Opsius as well. Opsius is a little bit better defended right now. The starbase there is 46,000 fleet power. It's getting some extra weapons being put on it. It's a Citadel. It's our one and only Citadel. But I've actually queued up the building of a Citadel at Alpes Graia now. And the thing that's interesting about this system that was mentioned by Senator Marius is that there is a planet here that can be colonized. There's a planet out here. It's a 19 slot, is it? 22 slot desert world. Wow, it's bigger than I thought. And I've sent a colony ship on the way to that, or queued one up to be built and go there. Because he says that if we build strongholds and then upgrade them to fortresses, we'll get some FTL inhibitors on the planet, and that means that they won't be able to warp past this area until they take the planet, thus delaying the enemy as long as possible. So there already is FTL inhibitors on the star bases themselves, which is pretty good. But as we know, based on their fleet size, it seems like they're going to be able to take out star bases pretty quickly. Even the big ones. And if we're there and we challenge them with a fight, maybe we can hold them off even longer. But something that definitely will help is if we throw down a colony here, slam down some fortresses and things like that, put some extra armies on there ourselves if we can definitely hold them off for a while. And the similar thing is done at Titanium. Senator Marius was also saying that perhaps we should, reinvest into fortresses and things here. And that's already underway, so we can upgrade these. I'll have to look into that in a minute. But planetary shields are being built. Foundry arcologies are going to need to be built. Just queue up another one. And we'll start moving pops out here. Alright, so let me think of the next thing that I need to address real quick. So, let's see. Oh yeah, so Senator Marius was also saying that we now have gateway technology and we can restore gateways and move around that way. We actually don't. We have megastructure restoration, which is mega engineering. Doesn't actually allow us to repair gateways. Not yet. So we don't have that technology. So unfortunately we can't do that just yet. But that's the next thing I'm eager to see appear in the technologies. After mega engineering, it should be pretty likely that we kind of start to understand how to do that. Apart from that, the only other thing I did was I did some gene modding for the species of the Adeeks, and I renamed them to be Adeeks Conditioned, where I removed a couple of traits and added a couple extras. So these guys, a lot of them are clerks, the majority of them. We have 52 pops across the Empire that are mostly clerks. They're slaves, and slave jobs, you know, they're going to be working the worker class. So just for those who may not be familiar, may not know, we obviously have rulers, then specialists, then workers. And slaves, at least our slaves, can only be workers. And that includes being a clerk, which is going to generate amenities, trade, you know, technicians, mining, and food, farming, things like that. So slaves can be workers, but they can't be specialists. So we want as many Romans and humans to be specialists as possible, working on the things like alloys and, you know, other sort of materials like volatile motes and things like that. Whereas all the slaves in our empire then should be filling out all the worker jobs. And that works out for us as well, because I think our traits are that we are decadent, which means we don't really like being a worker and we don't like being a slave. So if we're a worker, we're a little bit unhappy. So you want to get rid of as many workers as possible that are humans and refill those positions with slaves, if possible. So let's just open this notepad again. I'm sorry, but there's just so much to go through. I had to write it down. So yeah, so some of them have been gene modded, and we're going to be gene modding one other species as well. We have primitives that I never even noticed. A lot of people mentioned this throughout multiple previous episodes, and I just never got to it. But we do have primitives on this planet here, Shutra 2. And essentially, I actually really haven't looked at them, but they're called Tebadorans. They're semi-mechanized. They have a healing factor, sympathetic, conservationalist, and they're unruly. It's kind of interesting though, just because there are 24 of them. They live in a continental world, which is obviously a world that we're fine with. If we maybe uplifted them, we could turn them into slaves perhaps. Maybe we could vote on what we do with them based on what we think is kind of appropriate. They essentially cost more for consumer goods, have good habitability. We could remove their semi-mechanized trait perhaps with genetic modification or something. We can really do anything we want with them, but it's just something interesting that's in the corner of our empire. A pre-FTL primitive world. These guys haven't been technologically uplifted yet, and they might serve as a nice little addition, some extra pops that can work as some clerks or some farmers perhaps, something like that. Okay, let's skip over that song. Right, so I think that's pretty much everything. I could stay here forever just going through everything I renamed, but essentially just renamed certain things like we see. Obviously now we have the Titanium system. Alpus Graia is our choke point. Hades, the Hades planets within there. Cundia has been renamed to Neptunus because of course we consecrated Cundia to Neptune, giving us a permanent modifier to ship sublight speed. So Cundia I've left as that name just because I think it's a nice nod to the race that used to be there, the Norilga Swarm. But the system itself is called Neptunus, and then next to it we have Alexandria. So as you can see, if you're paying attention to the right side of the outliner, there is just huge amounts of stuff queued up. We do have a little bit of an energy problem at the moment, which I think I'm going to be sorting out. The only planet I haven't really named yet, it's not quite a planet actually, is New Astania. This would have been called Nova Parthia, just while it was being colonized. So I just renamed it back to New Astania. If someone has a fitting name for this, let me know, and maybe we'll name it that. But this is going to be a generator station, so I'm kind of speccing it out. I've moved a bunch of slaves here and things like that, so it's overpopulated, has some problems right now. But I put Vibius Fulvius in. He's righteous. He's gonna stamp out that crime while we get things sorted. Slave processing facilities going down with a bunch of reactor districts, Senate House to instill some order, and the like. So this will hopefully kind of make up for a lot of the energy issues that we're going to be facing, because of course our fleet is so thick now that it is sucking down a lot of energy. If we were to even move this fleet, the big one that is, we come across a pretty big deficit. So, the only other thing I can think of then is in the ship designer itself, I went through some of these designs. So let's just start off really basic, and we'll go through kind of where we're at. So for those who don't know, obviously I record 3 episodes at once, review all the feedback from those 3 episodes, and then make as big a change as I can to things, and then go on. So this is why I'm taking a little bit longer here. I'm in between these 3 episodes, so I had a lot of stuff to go through and kind of catch up on. Now, as I've said before, I'm not much of a stats guy, and I still amn't, but generally speaking, we'll just go through some of the ship designs here. I think this has been reset for everybody, by the way, the default behavior of ships. Oh, maybe not everybody. I could be wrong with that, but I feel like it keeps resetting, so I look over it, and I'm certain that I've changed it, and it's not changed. Alright, so anyway, so with 3 corvettes, the Pompey class is really the one that's going to be dealing with piracy suppression, so that's not really used in any fleets. The Velites is used in fleets, and so is the Hastati. They're kind of fine for now. I might end up changing them in future to something a bit more specific, but right now they're just fine. They're kind of like an all-rounder type ship. It's kind of similar as well for our destroyers. Our Equites is basically a point defense destroyer. So this thing's job is just to blast all missiles it can that are incoming towards the fleet out of the sky, or space, I guess. Then we have the Gladius, which again is just like another all-rounder, you know, a combination between railguns and lasers. The Minerva cruiser isn't really used much. It might actually not be used at all, but the Mercury is. And then we have when we start to get to the big boys is where I've made some changes. So we have a new thing, the Strike cruiser, which I was asking in the previous episode, why should we use a Strike cruiser? What's different about it? And someone rightfully pointed out that in the bottom right, it has the Advanced Combat Interdiction System, which actually negates or debuffs the enemy for negative 35% evasion. So if we're dealing with a lot of corvettes or small ships in general, you're going to really harm their evasion and be able to kill them a lot easier. Also slows them down for jumping out of the system and things like that. So I slammed one of these on. We really only need one in the fleet, which I've added, or I've at least queued up to be added into the fleet. I haven't let time play or anything, so everything's the same. But I've added it to the roster of ships that's going to be added. We have plasma accelerators, ion disruptors, and then medium crystal shard throwers. Just kind of a specialist ship. I don't know, I just thought it'd be kind of cool to have something a bit different. So they kind of balance each other out as well. Doing shield hull damage and then combinations of the two. It's not the most damage heavy ship, but again, it is almost like a support ship with some kind of interesting firepower. I'll be interested to see in the combat reports how efficient it was when it hits. So then we have the escort carrier, the next one up. This is the Cataphractarii, which was just a name that was proposed by someone. I liked it, so I've used it. So at the moment, this thing has two main carrier cores. 2 of them are going to be point defense carrier fighter wings, and 2 of them are just going to be regular kind of strike craft. So these 2 will go out and like harass the enemy, and these 2 will stay around protecting the ship. We then have flak batteries and point defense to kind of go along with that, and then just some regular kind of autocannons and lasers for combat. I've also then kitted it out with a lot more heavy medium crystal forged plating, which is giving you direct ship hull points, so it's like health of the ship just being directly improved, and then a bit of a combination of power and armor. Now it's got a huge excess of power because its weaponry isn't that heavy, so this thing, I guess because of the power, it actually has pretty good evasion. Actually, not even. It's only 3% extra because of the power, and then because of this as well. So, I don't know. With the extra power, we could definitely load it up with better firepower in future, or more shields or something to that effect. But for now, I'm just happy leaving it the way it is. The next one down, then, will be the battle cruiser. So this one I've really not changed too much, but I have with the battleship. I've beefed it up. So the battleships are now going to be rocking just all neutron launchers. And I really don't really like the look of it, just because it's like, I don't like the idea of using everything the same throughout the entire ship, but it's just an artillery ship, really. It's artillery, bow, core, and stern. So it's just like launching as many missiles as this thing can, and supporting itself with as much power as possible to be able to do that. The Marius is a little bit more specialized, using some plasma, using some longer range antimatter missiles for that shield penetration, and then these ones are doing more armor and hull penetration. So I actually think these work well together. Some people are saying like they don't know why you wouldn't just go all neutron. I think it works out well, and to go with a bit of both, and I also just like a little bit of diversity. And that's pretty much it. I haven't really changed anything else, so that's kind of how our fleet is looking right now. I feel like that song was really loud. I've added a few extra new songs now as well. Alright, so that's hopefully us all caught up. I know it was a bit of a long-winded beginning to things. I've moved pops around. I've listed some on the slave market to actually sell that we had kind of minorities of. So I'm trying to sell just a few slave pops from races that we don't really need. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna... Yep, don't think there's anything else I need to catch up on. So all eyes are going to be on the fleet coming back home. Neurilgicus, Opsius heading back to his namesake system, and then we're going to be building a new citadel here at Alpes Graia, sending out a colony ship to kind of defend it. The focus is really still on defense. All the while we're kind of like checking in on things with the galactic community. Our federation is about to get into the kind of area where we'll start actually gaining XP. And I looked through some of the things we actually get for being a hegemony. It doesn't seem that good, if I'll be completely frank. Like, it seems actually better for everyone else rather than the president. Although I don't know, maybe the oh, that could be the case actually, that we get the member modifier as well. I don't know if that's true or not. But in this, it's like the president gets 2 things and the members get 1. I don't know if the president also gets the member thing. If anyone knows that, actually, I'd be very... I might just look it up myself, but if you do know, let me know. Because then it would be like, oh yeah, this is actually pretty good. But if I don't get the member modifier, which is, you know, your resources from jobs are increased every single time, 5%, 5%, 5%. It's like, oh man, I don't know if I really care about, like, I contribute more to the fleet capacity or things like that. I think towards the end, it does start to get pretty powerful when you get, like, 10% of everyone's diplomatic weight. And I guess a good greater Roman Empire would be the type of Roman Empire that would try to uplift the Tyrrhene Republic and try to uplift the Colden Consortium. So they're also powerful, but they always work for us. So that'll probably be my goal there. They're not really underlings. We're trying to get them into the Empire and kind of... They get a benefit to tech and everything. This one does, Colden, while they're my subject. So, you know, everyone's getting all these really big benefits, and I don't really know what I'm getting other than just, like, thick borders, I guess. Alright, that's the time play. We're going to have to do some upgrades to the fleets and things like that to get some of that extra power. Some of our slaves have been sold already. Wow, we got 700 for one of them.
Receiving transmission.
Again? Holy crap. So, for those who are interested, what I've listed, I've mostly listed the Dawenu, which are the guys that came down from the Dagoteni Kingdom. We had like 8 of them, so I decided to get rid of them. And we had a few Fijaz Civlins, tried to sell them. Not all of these are mine. I haven't listed the robots or the Picari, someone else did. But it's kind of interesting to see them being sold for so high as well. I feel like the same songs are just playing over and over again. Over and over again, excuse me. Let's go with this one. Alright, so... This is something I noticed when I was doing testing as well, that these constant events just keep popping off about diplomacy in the galaxy. It's almost too much to read, at least for me, so I'm just probably going to skip over a lot of it. Otherwise, I'll just be paused the entire game. But the slaves being sold is awesome. Our energy is flying up. It's going to really go up high with that. Obviously, we're losing pops doing it, but some of them I just don't want the hassle of having loads of different types of races and things. Alright, so we got quantum missiles, which we can should be put on a lot of the ships. We can get a carrier. So this is going to be kind of like the escort carrier we have, but even more dedicated, I think, towards lots of strike craft. And then we have a support cruiser, which has big aura effects. So we could use... daily hull regen. And this is affected on the entire fleet. I like the idea of a support cruiser more than a carrier, personally, so I'm going to go with that one. This one seems really interesting. I also saw something about this, which is this computer is available only on certain ship classes. It allows the player to directly control the movement of the ships. It seems really advanced. I don't know why you'd necessarily need to do that, but it's kind of cool that you can. Alright. Yeah, wow, the Dawenu, they're selling like hotcakes. It's crazy because I just didn't expect them to sell at all for a very long time because there's so many here. Oh yeah, so the ones that have a number next to them are obviously the ones that I have not listed, where the ones that have cancel are. But it's kind of interesting. You don't set this price, it sets it itself. I always thought it'd be kind of cool if you could set your own price. And then people could barter and sell it. You know, you could almost hold on to them and sell them back or something. Gene modify them, sell them for better. It's pretty dark when you think about it. Alright, that's the time play. We'll keep it up to a bit of a faster speed. And we're going to be really watching my economy. Energy's flying up though, obviously, as we sell these, but that's not going to last forever. And the corvettes are on their way back. Okay, let's have a look at what these guys are doing now. So we noticed that they were just going back and forth. They might still be. I mean, they're still spinning around there, so who knows? I might not have fixed anything.
System scan complete.
We'll see. We'll check back in a moment. Site 10667 override laid a claim on the Zarmaton system. That's this system here. Okay. Well, they have no way of getting to me over here. How would they do that? Oh, they'd have to go through the Veldunur Zealots, of course. Okay, peace between the ancient eradicators and the pod privateers. They were at war for quite a while. It looks like the ancients might have gotten the better of it. It was a status quo. Oh yeah, the pod got some territory down here. Okay. Alright. So yeah, so hopefully I've also figured out a lot of the planets. I think things are looking pretty good there. There's really nothing to do in our situation log. We're genetically modifying one of the species now. I've got another one queued up to do after this. So if people want to see a little bit more specifically what we're modifying. So these guys, a lot of them are clerks. And something I added in, if we're going to make them, if they're going to be clerks who want to be maybe even better at being a clerk, immunities from jobs 20%. So we've added the charismatic trait. We're going to make them charismatic. It's very strange how you'd be able to do that, but I guess maybe it's possible. And then I've removed the repugnant. So they were repugnant, negative 20% immunities, and now they're going to be charismatic. So we're going to kind of condition them, and that's why I did the conditioned edicts, to kind of get rid of that social awkwardness and that ugliness. You think almost we're being the ones conditioned, and then we're just going to make them a bit more appealing. That's fine. Just institute benefits. That's unemployment on New Asthania. That's okay. I basically threw down so many pops there that there is going to be unemployment for a while, but everything will be fixed in the long term. So we have research complete. Improved 0-point power reactors. Miniaturization allows us to make these new 0-point more efficient than the predecessors. All right. So we actually need that for some of the ships. But hey, there we go. Gateway travel. Gateway activation. That's the one we need. We've already got a little bit of it done. So before I select anything else, let's just double check. Yep, I think we're happy to go with that. Because of course, you may remember, the Vazaran hegemony are still out there. We may be dealing with the Great Khan right now, but the Vazaran hegemony are still out there. So if we can hop to System 2872 and back in relatively quick fashion, that'd be very preferential. The other thing as well is, people were saying that you should identify where the... Oh, by the way, look, they're gone past where they got stuck before. They used to get stuck here. You should identify the fleet which the Great Khan is actually in. That's not him. His name is Dukelor. There he is. And apparently if we were to kill that one, so he's traveling with the main body. If we were to kill this one, he might die. He is the Great Khan, giving him... He's immortal, apparently. What? I didn't know that. Jeez. I thought he just dies of old age. I guess not. Well, he's immortal. So unless we wipe that fleet out, these guys are just going to keep expanding, potentially. So he's our target. And then maybe we'll destabilize the leadership of this horde and figure out what we can do. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as well. We're going to definitely keep an eye on where they're going.
Construction online.
Alright, so something I'm going to be obviously paying attention to now is titanium. This Ecumenopolis world with Appia Ovinius on it is going to be our prime candidate for improved alloys once we get the planetary shield generator up and running, just so we can protect the planet for a while. And then we're going to be foundried out of our minds. And we had some pretty good arguments for why we shouldn't. And I think it's a good idea. I talked about how we could remove the ones off Elysium and move it all to titanium eventually. The argument against that is that essentially this one's on the border. This was on the front line. And the Horde could come through and take this place out pretty quickly. And then we'd be left with no alloys. So you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, as they say. So I think that's a good point. That for now, definitely we'll keep Elysium up and running. And I'm actually contemplating taking the Ascension perk for Arcology projects so we can make our own Ecumenopolis world and have a second one. Maybe one that's maybe focused on commerce. Cicero has always been an industrial hub. Might be the perfect candidate for that as well. Although it is a kind of a smaller planet. So I'll think about it. And when is our next relic activation? in 600 days. So that's when we're gonna turn this desert world into a Gaia world. The inability of some local spiritual leaders on New Astania to even begin to calm the rampant unrest on the colony has led to the populace taking a more rational view of the material realm they inhabit. This materialist ethics attraction kind of makes sense considering they live on a artificial world. But yeah, we'll be getting there. It's only 8 unemployment. It's not that bad. Or 9, I guess. And then some housing problems. It's fine. With these new districts, the Senate House, order will be installed. I have no doubt Vibius Fulvius will sort this matter out. How old is Emperor Titus, by the way? He's 86. He's getting on quite a bit. Yeah, there's so many little diplomatic things popping up for us now. Alright. We're also making pretty good influence. I didn't realize that having a subject gives you influence. That's nice. And then we also had a building that's giving us influence. And I had to look around to see what it was. And it's this one. The Advanced Materials Laboratory. You can only build one in the entire empire. Excuse me. And it's giving... is it just point... It says produces 1 influence. But I actually think it produces 0.5. Yeah, it's 0.55. For whatever reason. So that's helping our influence grow at a little bit of a faster pace now as well. So we still have the research thing active. We still have fleet supremacy active, which is starting experience, build speed, weight from fleet power, all increased. So that's all looking good so far. Our strategic resources are growing really nicely. So someone pointed out as well that in the UI, apparently with the UI mods, you can change things so that the load order will display the missing resource. I don't see the living crystals here, or whatever they're called. I can't remember what they're called. We can check here, actually, though. Yeah, it is living crystal. So I played around with that. I can't get it to display, and when I did mess around with the load order, and I moved the UI mod to the bottom, this UI changed. This actually has a much better UI screen in the UI mod, which is great, but all the ethics disappeared, and so did the traditions. So there's actually a little bit of an incompatibility, which I wasn't fully aware of. I mean, it's fine. Sorry, this is what I'm looking for. All of these kind of like disappeared, so there is a bit of an incompatibility. I know people have been kind of messing around with them and asking me questions about how do you get it to look the way yours does. I guess I have a very specific load order, which I might post on the mod workshop itself, the collection, and that way you can just copy what I've done. But yeah, if you have things in a different order, either this won't display or your resources won't display. I think I'm fine with the resources not displaying, because at least I know that if I just go to the market, I can see how much I have. I can't see how much I'm making, but it's not too bad. Alright, anyways, sorry for the distraction. Okay, so another thing we'd like to be able to do is repair the megastructure at a stain. And that will help us progress down the Ascension perk chain to get more interesting stuff, like the Giga structures and things like that later on. The Vazarin Hegemony are attacking the 1066-7 override. But I need the alloys right now. I still want to buff up my fleet just a little bit more. And it looks like Opsius is nearly home.
Gene modification complete.
Alright, so we've gene modified the Adix. So the next gene modification is going to be for the Bakari. We're going to condition them to remove their... They're not going to be blind anymore. So of course this is a species that originally came from the tidally locked world that lived on the dark side of the world, so they're blind. And we're going to genetically modify them so they can see again. I mean, that's pretty significant. Or not see again. They can see at all. So let's apply that template to all Bakari. It's only going to take 5 months. It doesn't take very long at all. So we're removing the blind trait, and then we're also adding in conservationist. So they're going to use less consumer goods than they did before. So the Sadrel Exiles joined the Interstellar League Foundation. We're going to have to check in on those foundations later, or federations. Sorry, yeah, Federation later on. Can't see where the Hazar Horde are right now. They haven't come through our wormhole. We know that their smaller fleets are stationed out in the west, but in the east, we're missing where Dukelor has gone. Alright, our colony ship is on the way to Alpes Graia.
War has broken out.
Ancient Eradicators are attacking the Veldenor Zealots, so they're going to be fighting around this area. I'm not going to take back this wormhole system. There's no point, because we'll probably just end up losing it. Some people were saying build a Citadel there. It takes so long. Like, it takes years to just get from a Star Fortress to a Citadel. It'll take even longer to go from nothing to a Citadel. It's not really worth it.
Construction online.
Alright, our ships are being repaired, so... Let's see. We still don't have the correct amount to upgrade our main fleet. And to replace the battleships or the corvettes we lost and actually get some extra ones, we don't have enough either. So we need a couple hundred more alloys. Or sorry, a couple thousand more alloys. Maybe 2,000 to 3,000 more. We're making 250 basically a month. So that's pretty good. Now we have a...
Establishing colony.
Holden. Unemployed there. That's fine. Alright, so it's kind of just business as usual now. So that's interesting. There's something really up with the music. It just went off. Like, why would it go off? I don't get it. Why the modded music just doesn't, like, play the list of music I have. It's so strange. I'm trying to think of... I might as well play the new ones I added. Alright. At least the economy is better now. Obviously, the fleets are stationed. And a lot of the... So I'm going to close down these sectors.
Species enhanced.
So here's our star bases, right? So we have Hades. Alpes Graya, the one that's kind of a defensive station. Rhea, which is kind of new. Which I'm adding hangar base to because it does a bit of trade. What the hell is that, by the way? Oh, the enigmatic cache is back. Interesting. Terra Station is focused on trade. Mostly. There was trade missing here at Seven Hills that we weren't getting, but we should have that now. The Augusta Station, again, added some hangar bays to each of these just to give that piracy suppression. Alexandria, same thing. Dojak, anchorages. Aldebaran. So I actually removed a station from, I think it was Edda Cassiopeia. So that's gone now. And it's moved to here because this is more of a choke point that makes more sense for the Site 1066-7. So we'll just throw on a couple gun things there. I'm not going to focus on this too heavily. Just because the chances of using it are pretty low. Alright, and we have 30 armies now at Brundisium. I raised some new legions out there, but I think that's pretty much it. So 30 legions are on Brundisium. So yeah, this, I don't know what this was called before actually. I think it was the Eris colony, but it's now called Brundisium. Because it has a gateway that will lead to elsewhere. Alright, so we can get the final thing in the diplomacy chain. The amount we contribute towards Federation naval capacity counts for twice as much. And then we have 3 empty Ascension perk slots, which is kind of crazy. So we are just about to enter into a pretty good, into gaining XP for the Federation. Our fleet contribution is low. Now, I haven't actually built anything into the Federation fleet. And the Federation fleet, for those who don't know, is free upkeep. So the ships that you build there, you never have to, no one has to pay for. As long as the Federation is intact. It has a naval capacity, though. And that's what you're deciding how much capacity like goes into it, basically. And the higher you want it, the more cohesion you suffer. And so it's harder to kind of pull it off, basically. So we'll look into that. But right now, I'm still just kind of building up my own fleet. I get to control the Federation fleet anyway. So it is just a free fleet. So we will be doing that.
New technology discovered.
But I just want to build up my own one a little bit for now. Gateway travel. There we go. So the ability to reactivate the derelict gateway stations that can be found scattered throughout the galaxy has the potential to dramatically shorten travel times. Hyperlane generation. So that's completely... I didn't even know that was a thing in this. I think it's probably... my guess is part of a mod, but I didn't know that was even part of the mods. We can create a hyperlane. I mean, that would be insanely beneficial. We could have a hyperlane that goes from, like, here to there. Or from, like, here to here. Something like that. I'm guessing you need to own both sides of things, but still. Yeah, from Capella to Aldebaran. That'd be great. It's almost like having, you know, a gateway, really. Although I'm looking at some pretty powerful weaponry here. This would take a really long time. 35. Well, it's not that long, I guess. 34 months. It's a rare tech. It might not come back for a while. So I'm going to get it. Just so we have the option. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it takes to build one. That's the thing that I'd like to know. Alright, let's go weaponry instead. We have battleships. Getting a particle lance, I think, would be pretty good, really powerful. It's kind of a priority, I think, right now. Hopefully that tech will appear again at some point in the future. Alright, so let's improve our fleets now. This can be upgraded for 4,900. It's at 40,500 fleet power. So we should see this come up. A lot of neutron launchers are going to be fitted onto those battleships and things. The starbase itself is getting pretty thick. It's 60k nearly now. Okay, great. Federation Association offer. Invitation. Who is the Interstellar League? They seem quite big now. Do I have unions mode on? Yeah. So the Thogan Emergence are leader of the Interstellar League. Sadrel Exiles are a member of it. The Eldar Republic are a member of it. And so is the Valon Cluster. And the Kosher Trade League is an associate of it. So that's quite a thick little alliance they have. It's a bit awkward to tell with the colors because Traxian and Kosher are both yellow, but that's not because of Union's map mode. Interesting though. I don't like Union's map mode. I'm going to turn it off. I'll remember myself. Actually, I do like it looking up here. But I don't like it for them. Tyrene Republic have actually grown their territories out around this way now, which is pretty interesting to see. Okay, wow, I can't believe we're like 30 to 40 minutes into the episode already. Holy crap. I feel like I've done nothing. It's just so much to worry about now. But the economy is good. Things are looking pretty good. Let's check on our public... I say that. Monthly trade price. That keeps coming up and going away. I don't know why. I definitely have enough to sell, so I don't know why it would say that. So sectors, let's see. Terra has some unemployment. It's a robot.
New technology discovered.
Ecumenopolis Foundry. Foundry build speed 25% for an actual foundry, and there's 14 empty jobs here. Yeah, there's people begging for the metallurgist job here. But we need to move humans or something like that. Someone that's not yeah, it has to be humans. People that aren't slaves. So we're gonna be a bit short on pops. I'd have to take them from another world. I wonder from like farming or something. That's the kind of thing I'll do in between episodes, because I could spend ages going through planets and like trying to see like, do we have any humans? Like this human soldier, for instance. Like, okay, maybe you could go over things like that. Clearing tile blockers on Dune planets, which is the one we're just landed on, I think. So let's do that. And what did we just get? So we just got fleet command limit increased. Okay. So that reminds me. I wanted to add a ship design. I wanted to add the strike cruiser here. Oh no, we have a strike cruiser. It's the escort carrier. That's the one I wanted to add. Okay. Right, the fleet is now up to 47,000. Still upgrading. 93% done. So they gained what? Like 7,000 fleet power so far. That's pretty good. From that upgrade. And let's do a new build on the Corvettes. 48,001.
Technology discovered.
Still haven't seen much from the Hazar Horde. Let's check out where they are. They've taken Saiban and Balthris, and they're pushing west. They're actually over at the fucking wormhole right now. With only a small part of the fleet. This is the wormhole that leads directly to us. Where we're just upgrading and doing all our stuff right now. I mean, this is our best chance for defense. You know, in total, we have something like 60, 110, 130,000 fleet power here, combined with this. Now, starbases don't really count for that much a lot of the time, but it's our best chance if they come through for a fight. Although we still need a little bit more power, I would say. Admin cap, do we need that? Not really. I just want to get the cheap techs right now, so let's just do that. So what did we just get? We got the support cruiser. Oh yeah, we need one of those. Electromagnetic flux cannon. I love the sound of that. I don't know what it is. But I kind of think Neutronian armor would be better then. Just things for upgrades rather than new ships. Be cheaper. What's going on? Excuse me. Senate's now in session for minor research sanctions. Empires that have been denounced or are in breach of galactic law will have penalties applied to them. Not really for or against it, to be honest. As long as I don't break galactic law, I guess I'm fine. I'll oppose it just to see what happens. Alright, let's get more military battle music or something on. Because things are getting serious now. They're on the other side of this wormhole. They're on the other side of this wormhole. Now, what we need to do... Oh my god, my camera is glitched. Fuck's sake. Great, good job. Anyways, so we just got a new ship type. The one that's going to give us buffs. Didn't we? Where is that? God damn it. Alright, let me check. Research. Support cruiser. It's a support okay, it's a cruiser. Unless there's actually something called support cruiser. I'm not seeing it. So I'm assuming that we have to make a cruiser. Maybe it just gives me some... Ah, there we go. Support cruiser Aurora. Now, can that be put on regular cruisers? It can. That's interesting. You don't have to make a new one. You can just update an existing one. That's even better. That's pretty powerful stuff. Thinking about it. So what do we have? We have 7 Mercury-class cruisers. Oh yeah, you know, it'd be nice to have one of everything, wouldn't it? Daily shield regen, daily armor regen, daily hull regen. Well, let's go with shield regen. I feel like shields melt away pretty fast. Let's go with hull, just because it's the foundation of keeping ships alive. I'll have to, in between, again, go through and make different ones so that we have lots of different types. I wonder, does it stack as well? So that's 0.2%. Is that going to stack? Because we have 7 of these ships. Or is it just like a constant 1 modifier? Remains to be seen. Yeah, 7 cruisers are going to then upgrade. Alright. New corvettes are coming out.
System scan complete.
Pretty scared now to see if they're going to come through this wormhole. They're probably going to build a station on it first. Oh, looks like they're heading back. How much do they have? Is Duke Lore here? He is. 30, 40, 50, 60, 67, 87,000. God, we're so close to being able to hop in there and maybe do some damage, because they left behind 70,000 of their fleet power in a different system. Pretty tempting to try and bait him into our system or something like that. I wonder would he do it? Maybe we could try with the corvettes. Maybe he'll bait. We can bait him in. I think we could. If anyone's gonna do it, it's Opsius. I'm gonna come into the system with the corvettes. And then maybe come back through the system and see if we can bait him back through. I don't know if he'll come through, though. Alright, we're here now. Are they going to turn around? Nope. Okay. Well, worth a shot. Alright, back we go.
Evading hostiles. Research vessel needs assistance.
Oh no, one of my ships. I didn't have him on passive. He's gone straight through. Oh, he's in Walmoro. They did build a station again down here. I couldn't even take the system back without, what do you call it? Without surveying it first, so I had to kind of do that anyway. Damn, this is such a strange standoff. Well, it's good to see that at least, I guess, from my perspective that they're expanding and they're not stuck or anything. But yeah, they won't commit to come through and attack us. Oh, they're actually heading off into the Colden Consortium. That is Roman territory.
New technology discovered.
They're blasting away down there. Alright, new text discovered. The Particle Lance. An Annihilator Cannon. Star Fortress Reactor. We saw that before. Cyclonic Deflectors. Energy Weapon Attack Speed. Let's get Phase Disruptors so we can do some upgrades. Anything that lets me upgrade, I'm happy with. Zro. Yep. I thought I'm already making Zro. Why do I need a tech for it? Yeah, I am. I have a Zro distillery. Strange. Relic activation now available. Okay, so let's activate the last bowl. And what that lets us do is, here on Opus Graia, when this colony is done, we'll turn it into a Gaia world. And they should be fine. They are one system away from us here. The Citadel, by the way, is still not done at Opus Graia. Still waiting for it to get its next level up. Something I would worry a lot about is moving my fleet from here down to there. And getting caught. One of these systems getting hit.
Construction online.
Exotic gases as fuel is expired, so that was an extra speed buff I got. I'm happy to see that the planets are pretty stable. Everything's pretty good there. Got some unemployment. Who is it? It's a human as well. Well, any unemployed humans can definitely move to Titanium. Alright, so any unemployment on Terra. There's an unemployed human. An unemployed robot. So get anyone off that's like just doing a regular worker job. And then the Theta colony. See you later. Alright, good. So alloy production should be even more increased now. Another human here. What the hell? I feel like my music playlist has been all over the place today. God damn. Alright, let's just go from here down and leave it no shuffle. So it should just play through. And then maybe we can intersperse some regular Stellaris music. Alright. I'm a bit of a Stellaris DJ. As well. Alright, so they've got a huge fleet over on the right side. Although they're actually splitting up quite a decent amount. There's 4 different areas where they have fleets now. And a few of these systems are actually listed as military systems. I wonder, the more they get of those, the more fleets they have, I guess. There's 3. I think that's just their original starting area. They started with 3. They are expanding though now. The Voss City States and the Colden Consortium has been, the Colden especially, been split. We can't help them just yet. That's a kind of a good tester system for me to test this fleet out against. See how quickly we can destroy one of those star bases. So I might go down and do that. We're building a strike cruiser and an escort carrier. Great. We have 18 available jobs here. 13 metallurgists. Okay, good. Economy's doing great, actually. The energy credits are really high. We are selling some things for that. Colony founded down here. Well, let's do our last bow. New bow life seating. Boom. Oh yeah, I totally forgot that gives us the 5 new bow pops. Okay, great. So they can just immediately get to work on strongholds and try to hold this place down. Until we get about 10 pops here, we can't actually properly FTL inhibit the place. We're going to improve the these ones down here as well, at Titanium. Okay, alright. We can now exploit the resource for Zro. I'm looking for the dark matter one. I have construction ships ready to like sit on dark matter, but we haven't found that yet. Our observation post has been built above Shutra 2. And it's currently on passive We could do aggressive, indoctrination, covert infiltration. This gives us 8 society if we do it that way. The natives are aggressively studied and live specimens are frequently collected to learn as much as possible about their biology and culture. Through subtle influencing of their society and culture, the natives can be brought around to our way of thinking. I think I'll go with that one. That costs us 3 energy, but it gives us 10 society. We're going to condition them. That's what we're doing. We're conditioning other species anyway. It makes sense, I think. Alright, so let's hide that. Let's go through some of our star bases. Terra Station has some slots not doing anything. At the very least, we can always just put in solar panels to get more energy. A command center is a pretty interesting one as well. Ship fire rate. Good for defensive systems. Which I think I built that on both stations. Opsius should have one. Yeah, it does. That's getting a listening post now. Cool. So Opsius is to the max. We could put down more stations. Defense stations.
Technology discovered.
It's gonna go from...
enhanced. Fleet upgraded.
Yeah, it's getting some extra little bits of power added to it. Love to see it. It can go up again. Weirdly.
New technology.
Oh, because we just got level 5 armor. God damn. We're just always going to be getting stuff all the time. Habitats. Super atmospheric umbagaceous collection condensers? Or the SUC, for short, is a massive facility which wraps around a gas giant. Using massive tractor beams, it steadily harvests the planet's atmosphere and refines it into energy, gases, and volatile motes. Yeah. Yes, please. Although the problem is I don't have the alloys to build any of these megastructures right now. Helioforming. Brown dwarfs came just short of starting fusion reactions and becoming stars. With the right technologies and some resources, it might be possible to give them the push needed for them to ignite. But why would I want to do that, though? Turning it into a star? I'm not sure why I'd want to create a star, unless we can harvest it like a Dyson sphere, I suppose. It's pretty cool, though, just in general. Let's just get the weaponry for now. Tachyon lances or arc emitters? Arc emitters. Let's just go to our battleships then. The Sulla is our battleship. We can now do a spinal mount bow. And add on a particle lance. And hyper shields. Holy crap, the power we got out of that was insane. Okay, so regen hull tissue, neutronium armor at level 5, hyper shields, and then a particle lance. So it's not good against shields. So against shields, these things just aren't very good at all. Save that right now. Hang on then one sec, because I think the other one is good against shields. Arc emitter, good against shields and armor. Well, it just has... Like, I have no idea what that means. Damage 1 to 1,300? I don't... Okay. You can tell me anything right now. Tachyon Lance is the upgrade to the one we have. Let's get the arc emitter for the option to have both. And then we'll create a second class of ship. Let's see if our fleet power goes up at all, because we will be reducing the neutron launchers in favor of one particle lance. And they're adding in just like a ton of armor.
Fleet upgrades applied. Fleet upgrades applied.
51,000.
Enhanced.
Alright, let's smash them out. Pretty soon we're going to be looking for our opportunistic moment to kind of hop through.
Transport under attack.
Our trade route in the Gargantua system is poorly protected and passes through what largely becomes lawless space. An increasing number of pirates, smugglers, and various other criminal elements have been drawn to this system. Isn't this is where the orb is? 900. Could Opsius get out here pretty fast? He's a bit of a big fleet to be doing that. But I like to think he'll get the experience. Yeah, I'll send him out that way. What we need then as well is edicts. Exotic gases, fuel. Still have plenty. Just looking at the patrol ships. Alright. So Opsius, off you go. This is a really far distance though. Be kind of interested to see how fast he makes it there though. He's a really fast fleet. Or he should be.
Construction online. Construction online. Initiating evasive maneuvers. Construction online.
Okay, I've changed my mind. This is going to take way too long. I thought it'd be way faster than that. Let's just go back there. And you just upgrade. What we'll have to do is get the patrols to increase. And tell them all to go back and upgrade. And then we'll kind of queue up their patrols again. So unfortunately this pirate fleet's going to get the better of us for a few minutes. Alright. Mutagen Merchant Guild. Continue the deal for rare crystals. What do we... you know what? It's fine. We don't need it anymore. We make enough of our own. Whoa! Dude, I didn't even see it. They came through. Fuck. It's done in 19 days. It becomes a Citadel. Okay. I'm just trying to work out now. Is this going to be worth hopping through down here and taking this? Yeah, I'm going to do it. All right. We can't get down there fast enough. Can we? Let's see. Are you still upgrading? You're almost done. Just wait a couple days. I'll look into that.
Station under attack.
Come on, man. Finish. The primitives are changing. Tebadoran's societal shift. They made great strides in centralizing their various planetary governments, with political power redirected towards a few capable leaders. The inefficiencies of mob rule are slowly being weeded out of their society. Alright, hang on. We need full-on war music right now. Gallant is the one I'm looking for. What's going on in the Galactic community? Alright, doesn't matter. 6 days from upgrade.
Construction online.
47k. That's what I like to see. Hold them out. Hold out.
Mining station lost.
We're still getting the upgrades on these guys. We're seeing a definite movement towards a more militaristic society by the various Tebadoran governments. Their standing military forces, such as they are, have become more professional in nature. Love to see it. Oh my god, this place is getting hammered. No, we're never going to get here in time.
Fleet upgraded.
So it'll take 266 days. Unless this will last 266 days, it might not be worth it. Although, we might get here just as it's finished or something. We'll just keep an eye on it. Maybe. Maybe.
Hostiles. Fleet upgrade.
They are taking a lot of damage, actually. Yes! And some of their big ships are just hanging back, though.
Fleet upgraded. New technology discovered.
Alright, Opsius is on his way as well. They've begun turning inwards, becoming more and more wary of those they regard as strangers, so they're becoming xenophobic. The hull, so far the actual hull has not been affected yet. Why can't I see the health of it? There we go. 256,000 hull points. So let's see, where's Classes 1 now? Dude, they're only there. They're never gonna get there in time. Go! How long does it take? 174 days until they get there. Although their power is getting weaker as our base holds out and defeats some of them. Although they did have more on the way. Okay. Let's get a new technology. Climate restoration. Let's just get the cheaper ones for now. Sacred Nexus. And this is where we've started to build our planet up, but unfortunately, we haven't got to the point yet where we can upgrade it. I'd have to move pops and stuff here. Could I do that now? Would it be done in time? No, because I'd have to upgrade this. That takes a while, and then that. It's very unlikely. Also, what the hell's wrong with Cicero? 64% crime? I don't want to move the governor out. He's actually pretty good for the tech of the region, so I'll have to just get enforcers in. Anti-crime campaign. Enforcer upkeep is increased. Okay, I could do that afterwards. Alright. So the situation is, I mean, this fleet has actually been really hammered. So if we got down here and we're able to destroy it, that'd be great. But it's going to take us, you know, 6 months basically to get here. It looks like the Tyrene Republic are on their way with nothing. We're on our way with our other fleet. I thought about going through the wormhole down here and just hammering them. Maybe they turn around. But it's just a bit, it's quite tempting to try and actually hold this system. I don't want it to turn. It was a Citadel, you know, we need to get it back up and running before they destroy it. Admiral Gaius Menatius has died at the age of 96. He was leading this fleet. R.I.P. Wasn't particularly a crazy good general, if I'll be honest. I'm just going to get Volusa Trebellius in, but then we're going to look at, is there anyone that has speed? Yeah. Queso Stertinius has sublight speed 10%. Every little helps. Get on the fleet, son. Keep moving. We're at... Okay, they're becoming spiritualist as well. 100,000 fleet hull points left to go. They don't have much left. I don't know if when this goes, it's gone, or if it kind of goes temporarily offline. We're nearly there. We're so nearly there. 100 days. It's so close. Just like 3 more months. It is going to fall before we get there, but I don't know. We're so close. Fuck, man, it's gone. Well, we're gonna engage them, for sure. They're probably gonna turn around like cowards and get the hell out of here now, I bet. Keep going. Why did we stop? I don't know why we stopped. Alright, 2 months to go and we're here. Fuck, man, that's a lot of alloys just gone. Those citadels, they're not cheap. I have to think of which one to go down next. We can only go down 3. Introspection, Prowess, or Harmony. Cannot be adopted by pacifists. This is the same as Harmony. They exclude each other. So Harmony has leader lifespan. Defensive war with another empire. Ship build speed is increased. The time it takes for unemployed pops to demote is increased. Or decreased. Governing ethics attraction. Stability is increased. That sounds pretty good. Prowess. Military academy is not restricted. Soldiers produce unity. Ship fire rate is increased by 10% for ships within your border. And star-based damage is increased 20%. Strongholds increase stability. Defense army damage increase. Habitability increase. Leader lifespan increase. So it's kind of similar. But the ethics one is kind of nice for Harmony. I think I'll go with Prowess. But then we also have Introspection. Yeah, we'll go Prowess then. Is that it? I'm definitely not missing... Oh, we could do Domination. Enforcers reduce crime. No. I'm gonna go prowess. What's the adoption thing? Pacifist ethics attraction is reduced. Good. Alright, we're on our way. Get some revenge for the system. Damn, we were so close as well. Be very interesting to see how this fleet is now gonna fare. Here we go. Our first fight against the Hazar Horde proper. One of their fleets. It's super damaged. Its hull points are half. Well, not maybe not half. Slightly over. We gotta deal with the crime that's apparently just ravaging Cicero right now.
Engaging hostile fleets.
Alright, there we go. Combat has started. Absolutely annihilating them. Love to see it. I thought about waiting for our corvettes, but we just did not need to. Jesus.
New technology discovered.
Ah, we can get some of their technology as well. There's another fleet in here? Oh, it's just a small one. They backed off into the... Oh no, I thought they were in a corner trying to get away. Alright, our corvettes are here. Opsius, do your thing. Chase them down. We need... So I just realized we can get the engineering here. Need a science ship around here to come down and get this stuff. 2 new techs have been completed. The arc emitter. Antimatter launchers. Holy crap. Let's do research speed. It's one of the quickest ones. Laser enhancement. Selected lineages. Let's do gene modification points increased. Speaking of gene modification, let's apply this template now. Oh, we already did it. There's only one left. Yeah, okay, I guess so. 3 months for 1 pop. Such a waste of tech, but I just don't like having it there. Alright, that is a bit of a setback. I mean, we got to kill a bit of a setback for both of us. We lost our station. We kept the planet okay for now, and then we'll have to just rebuild this station, essentially. It's still in our space, so I'm not too sure how this works with getting a station back up and running. There just is none here now. But a resounding victory, I would say. Not letting even these little corvettes get away. Wow, pretty much blew up before he even hit them. The recent victory in Alpha's Grai system seems to have awakened the hunter in Admiral Queso Starchitec, who's now become much more aggressive. Love to see it. Ship fire rate, sublight speed increased. Oh yes, nice. Excellent. Okay, great. Let's head straight to Walmoro and take out that base. And then we'll wrap it up. So yeah, we have to... This is... I don't know how to rebuild here. How do we get a starbase here? Like if I click... Okay, we can just build one for... Oh, we don't have to pay the influence. That's nice. Great, so we'll rebuild it. Start rebuilding it back up, I guess. Try to do what we did before. Now, one thing that's a bit of a concern is that we have left our northern system really open at Opsius. We've got one battleship just chilling here, the Augusta. Okay, well let's take out this Walmoro system again. It's a bit of a back and forth. I'll have to go in between episodes and go through some of these planets, see what the hell's going on, move some pops around. Great to see that even while our fleet is out, we're making 144 energy. So I definitely solved the energy crisis that was sort of apparent.
Engaging hostile station.
There we go. Okay, more Xenophile. Stertinius. Oh, I forgot to look at the combat reports, didn't I? I'm so sorry. Always forget to do that. It's not that useful for against the station. Against their fleet, it would have been useful. These bases can even hold our big ships in place, which is pretty interesting. And what are these? These are the battleships, right? Yeah, they stay real far back. I never checked, actually, the range of this thing. 150? Range is 130. They sit at 120. And we could add some extra things onto here now that we have extra power. Again, we'll look at in between episodes.
Genetic enhancement supplied.
Good stuff. Alright, let's take a wider view of things going on. Nothing coming through the Gardener Station right now. There's a 22,000 fleet at Zuno or whatever. What the hell is this? We've received multiple reports of a global catastrophe on planet Dakarite Fragments, which is part of the Dakarite Fragments Empire. What? There is no planet called Dakarite Fragments. There's God, my voice. There's Daka. Well, we don't have good intel on the nature of the cataclysm. Reliable sources indicate that the population is panicked. A large outflow of refugees is expected. The hell? Do they have a planet named after their faction? I don't think so. Interesting, though, I guess. What could it be? They do have Leviathans up here. I wonder, did they get hit by one? Alright, well, it looks like we took out the station, no problem. And they took Zarmaton as well from us. God damn it. Have to survey these areas before we can kind of take them back. I don't even really want to take them back if they're just gonna, you know, it's a waste of influence and resources if that's gonna keep happening. Titanium could build up a little bit. Maybe get a dry dock here. Yeah, let's go just take a quick rest at Titanium. Maybe do an upgrade, and then we'll head back to Opsius. Until this place gets rebuilt up, there's really nothing we can do. And by the way, if we had jump drived, our fleet power would have been heavily negated. We still might have won, but I don't think jump drives would have been the answer there either. We would have taken bigger losses. I ultimately probably... See, I waited for about a month to get a final upgrade. I probably should have just moved. And maybe it would have been fine. So my bad, I suppose. A near miss. Scientists on Grunorii, which is our planet for where the Grunor came from, were surprised to register an immense solar superstorm bypassing the planet. The storm, a coronal mass ejection that apparently had been missed by sensors until nearly striking the colony, could have caused widespread and in many cases irreparable damage to the electronic infrastructure on Grunorii. Had the ejection hit the world, who knows how many could have died in the ensuing chaos. It's a sign of divine intervention that the planet was saved. Yet if we might lose one world, that's spelled wrong, we have many more. Who will bring new children into this alien world? No. It's a sign of the gods that they were fine. Shielded as well. Haven't seen the Vazarin in a while. Really want to get back to our space just in case. Okay, I think we'll have to leave it there. A lot of time's actually passed. So, yeah, pretty much leaving it off there. Going to be just continuing doing the same thing. Might have a look at this. We are actually opposing the sanctions. I'm happy to see that because I worry that I might have to break law at some point. So, don't really care about sanctioning other empires. So, if we can stop sanctions happening to me, I'm happy with that. Although at the moment, we're at no risk of being sanctioned. Our Federation is finally gaining XP. We have 100 out of 1,200. That's going to go at 5 per month now. So, a little bit faster all the time until it gets to here. Then it's 10 per month if we max it all the way out. So, that's pretty good. And, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So, thank you guys very much for watching. And I'll see you in the next one.